And woo! Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2022 Chevy Silverado 3500 LTZ. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Chevy here in Provo for giving me some time with this Silverado 3500. Check out the inventory in the description down below. Let's get right into the video. So under the hood, we have a 6.6 liter V8 diesel known as the Duramax. It goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission known as the Allison. Power outputs are 445 horsepower and then 910 pound-feet of torque. And just look at that monstrosity. Now let's go over the front end of the truck. So first off, you can see we've got the chrome trim here around the venting here in the center. Looks really good. Coming down below, we've got the LED accent light here with the headlights. They are reflector LEDs, super bright, and then you've got more LED accent light action happening right there. Parking sensors here on the front, and then just notice how much chrome you have. That's part of the LTZ package. You got the Z71 logo right there. Here's kind of like your full frontal view on the truck. Notice there's tow hooks there at the very bottom, and yeah, there's the front. And now coming on the side here, we've got two 75mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you can see here with the design on the wheel itself, right? Chrome in color, and you've got the larger spokes, kind of like a normal luxury truck design. And then you can see we've got the aggressive all-terrain tires, part of the Z71 package. You also get the off-road shocks, also part of the Z71 package. And you get a Z71 badge. 3500 HD badge. You can see you've got the chrome here on the mirrors, on the side steps, on the door handles, around the bottom portion of the windows, so it kind of all ties in together. And there's your full side view on the Duramax. Now notice we've got the side step here to help with accessing the bed. This is where you're going to fill up the diesel and the DEF. And then you can see here with the leaf springs in the back, you got the shock there in the rear as well. And that's all for that. So here's our key fob. You can see you've got the Chevy logo on the back. You've got the unlock, the lock, the remote start, and the drop down for the tailgate. We've got 3,793 pounds of payload capacity here in the rear. And you can see this one already has protection on the bed, so you don't have to worry about like exposed paint or anything like that, which is nice. We've got all of our plugins. This does have a fifth wheel prep. We've got a full outlet. You've got the LED lights right there. And then you can see this one has the cargo camera as well as the LED light there at the top. Definitely a nice setup, tons of bed space. Now lifting up the tailgate, very light, very easy to put into place. And I guess we'll finish things up with the rear. So you can see you've got the LED lights here in the back, LTZ logo, Silverado badge, Chevrolet stamped into the bed, parking sensors down below at the receiver hitch. And then notice just how large the exhaust tip is. And that's kind of something that goes along with the diesel trucks. Now here's the door panel in the rear. You can see you've got soft padding here and then just up above, and notice how it's all stitched. And then we've got the wood trim right here. And then I love the tubular door handles, always been a fan of that. And then you can see this is really nice with the contrast, because notice the exterior paint color matches kind of like the darker elements very well. Anyways, you can see here with the seats in the rear, same thing. You've got nice perforations, have the seat storage, and then more under seat storage. Rubber floor mats that go all across. You got some cup holders here, some venting, 12-volt USB, all that fun stuff in that area. And then this pulls down to be another armrest cup holder thing. And then obviously this being the large cab has tons of space there on the back. I mean, I'll show you guys quickly. Boom, boom. Let's head to the front. Now here's the door panel at the front. Again, you can see the same thing with all of the padding. And then notice that we do have blind spot marking for the mirrors. This does have the mirror extenders. Helps out when you are towing. Definitely a nice feature to have. And if you're wondering, that button's just right there. The mirrors do power fold in. We've got two different functions for the memory seats. And then here are the seats at the front. So really nice leather, perforated leather here down the center portion. You can see really soft to the touch. You got your adjustments right there. Pedal layout, we got the rubber floor mats as part of the Z71 package. Parking brake right here, light controls, fog light, cargo light. We have our drive line select with our auto, 2-wheel high, 4-wheel low. Trailer tow mode, and then the drive mode to the other side. And, well, there's where we'll look before we pop in. Here's our steering wheel in this Silverado. So you can see you've got really nice leather all around the steering wheel, soft to the touch. And you can see the stitching there in the center kind of matches. Controls for the center stack, voice command, phone controls, cruise control. We have our windshield wiper / turn signal stock. We have the shifter for that 10-speed automatic. It does have a manual shift function. And that's all for the steering wheel. Now here is the center gauge cluster. There's a bunch of different menus you can scroll through here in the center. I'm going to keep that in there because whenever I struggle talking, it always seems like it ends up being somewhat funny. But yeah, different bits of information on the vehicle, navigation, phone, all that stuff. And then the rest of it is a bunch of analog gauges. Again, you've got the trailer tow mode, and then we have a couple different drive modes, if they'll pop up. There we go, normal and off-road for the drive modes. We have the center infotainment system right here. First off, response time's fantastic. It does come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. And then another cool thing is this one has a really good camera system. So you got the backup camera with trajectory lines. You can switch to the trailer mode with the camera, and then you can do no lines if you want. You can also zoom in, which is nice. And then we have the cargo camera, which same thing, you can zoom in. So I feel like this one has like all the cameras that you need and none of the ones that you don't need, right? It's got the important stuff. But anyways, that's the infotainment system. Analog controls are just down below, and there you go. So we've got dual zone climate here, and we'll sync them so that we don't have low and high. Anyways, there you go. Cool little function here of the truck. We've got heated and cooled seats, and the thing that's cool about Chevys is you can just have the back of the seat heated if you don't want the bottom. And then we've got a couple blank switches, but diesel exhaust brake, parking sensors. This is to drop down or raise the tailgate, so it has both functions. We've got the hazard light, stability control, outlets, hill descent control, and then you guys can see here with the outlet, and then inside here, and then we do have the trailer brake controls, and then you guys can see the storage space here in the center, couple of cup holders, and then you can see here with the center console, tons of storage space, USBs, 12 volt, and then notice the padding here on the dash, definitely nice. Dual glove box. I love how everything's in the brown so that it like actually matches. And then we do have a power sliding window, and well, that's all for that. Here's a window sticker for this LTZ. There's a little bit of glare, so it's probably hard to read, but I'll still kind of show you guys. I think you can see these options, so feel free to read through what this specific truck has. And if you're wondering, the exterior color is called Greenstone Metallic. Pretty interesting. And then the interior is Gideon / very dark. That's what it's described as. Anyways, $73,890 is the total MSRP on this truck, and let's take it out and see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. There's your visibility of the hood, both the mirrors, which do a blind spot, then throughout the rest of the rear, and well, let's set off. Setting off here in the 3500, and first off, this is one torquey boy, is what I will call it. Yeah, definitely, it moves. It's got so much torque, and comes on a low RPM, obviously, because it's a diesel, and so it's great. Ride quality with the 3500 Silverado is actually pretty good for a 3500 series truck. When you go over, you know, manhole covers and bumps, you will feel it because the leaf springs are so hardcore. But something to note is, just like other HD trucks, when you do load this up, with a trailer, it actually smooths things out quite a bit. Apparently I can't talk today, so you know what? Hopefully you guys can understand me through my horrible grammar. Anyways, yeah, it's easy to drive. Maneuverability on it's great. Yeah, so much torque. The thing that's nice about diesel trucks is you just barely got to get into the throttle, and it just keeps going. It's a really good feeling. Definitely lends to a driving experience where you just kind of like sitting back, you're relaxed. There's totally a cop there waiting to pull people over. Good for me to know. Just sitting back, relaxed, and just you know, enjoying the ride. That's the best way to describe things with this truck. So we're going to be getting up and getting our acceleration here with this 3500 Silverado. Taking a little turn here, and woo! That's the thing I love about these V8 diesels is they have so much horsepower. So like you get that punch from the torque, and then it keeps going because it has so much horsepower. Yeah, you're just riding away with torque. Also, Lincoln drivers are apparently really slow. They're as slow as Subaru drivers. Slowbaru. Anyways, taking a turn here. Again, it's easy to drive. Maneuverability is great. Yeah, it's super easy to drive. Steering is super light too, which is definitely nice. I didn't talk about seat comfort too much. The seats are really comfortable. They're nicely bolstered. The bolsters are pretty wide. And so if you're like a big person, you'll be able to fit in these seats fine. So yeah, let's sum things up here with this Silverado. So exterior wise, I actually am a fan. This kind of has like a Western vibe to it because it's got all the brown and the tan, and I dig it. I think it's more exciting than, you know, just plain, you know, black interior, right? Is what you see on so many vehicles. And so I'm definitely a huge fan of that. And then in terms of just the driving experience with this, it's a really nice truck. It's smooth, it's comfortable. You could daily drive this, no problem. You know, fitting into parking spaces with any HD truck, right, sometimes it's a little bit of an annoying thing, but for the most part, it's pretty easy to drive. And so, yeah, if you're looking for, you know, a luxury tow rig, that's what this truck is all about. You can use it as your daily driver, you can use it as your family vehicle because it has a ton of space in the back, and then you can obviously tow with it. And yeah, it does everything. So that's the Silverado 3500. Now let's get some things up for our video on this 2022 Chevy Silverado 3500 LTZ. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Chevy here in Provo for giving me some time with this 3500. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I will see all of you in that next video.